welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. If you have a baby who's about to start solids, this video is for you. This video is going to be a two-parter because I'm going to be discussing first introducing solids to like your 6-month-old, 5 or 6-month-old, and then I'm going to be doing another video next week on more toddlerhood and how to keep that food momentum going, and how to make sure that your baby is an eclectic eater and doesn't get picky, because in toddlerhood, even if you do good in those first couple months, toddlers do gain preferences. So I'm going to give you both tips, but I wanted to do it in a two-part video because it's kind of different transitioning. So this video is going to be just about introducing solids in general to 6 months and up, and then next week is going to be about making sure that your toddler loves variety foods and things like that. So the next 2 weeks videos are going to be about babies and food, basically. So if I think back to introducing food to Anna, my daughter Anna, we started introducing, well, when I say solids, at 6 months, it's really like purees and really small foods, and then you kind of gradually go up. But we started introducing foods to Anna like around the transition for 5 months to 6 months. And that 6-month period, that's when it's recommended to start introducing some type of food besides milk, formula, things like that. So before this, Anna was breastfed and formula fed. She was breastfed and formula fed. I supplemented with formula for about 4 to 5 months, and then she was fully formula fed for about that 1 month transition where I was weaning her off of the breast. And then obviously she also had formula up until 12 months, but we also introduced solids and purees and things like that starting at 6 months. So this video is going to be about that. So if I think back to that, where she was 6 months and we were first starting small purees, solids with her, she was 6 months, she had no teeth, and for us, we decided to try to first introduce just like the Gerber oatmeals that they have, which you just mix with water and it becomes like a baby oatmeal. They have it in different flavors, and it's a way to introduce flavors and different foods to your baby in a pureed oatmeal form, and it is very filling. So when they're reaching that transitional phase of 6 months, they do need more than just milk to fill them up and keep them kind of sleeping. So that was why. So for us, I think we just did that for the first couple of weeks of introducing solids, but we did different flavors. So it's very important that you introduce, even if you're only introducing purees or you're only introducing small foods, you want to make sure that you're introducing different flavors. However, we did this safely. So everyone is different in how they introduce foods. So I'm not going to say one way or is right or wrong, but we just did it with as first-time parents, we just followed like what our pediatrician said. So a lot of this is what our pediatrician said. Please follow your own pediatrician. So for Anna, at first I think we did like the banana Gerber oatmeal, which she really loved. And then we wanted to introduce a savory thing. So they actually have like a vegetable savory oatmeal for babies now. So I think we did that. So that was a way of introducing vegetables and flavors into her diet and fruits into her diet in the oatmeal form. And as I said, as your baby gets older, you can introduce small bites of things instead of just purees. But we did stick to purees for a while, and we did a lot of vegetables, fruits, and we tried to, normally what they say about allergies or to find out if your baby's allergic to something, this is the rule we followed. Again, not everyone follows it, but this is what our pediatrician said about like how to tell if your child's allergic to something if you're introducing it. Let's say we were introducing like the banana oatmeal. What if she was allergic to bananas? Like, this is how they recommend it. So this is what we mostly followed. And as she got older, you know, we got less strict about it. But in the beginning, it can be a little scary for first-time parents introducing foods because you really don't know what your kid could be allergic to. So, you know, some parents like to take caution. We did like to take caution. So normally what we would do is we would introduce one food to her, one fruit or vegetable food, obviously at that age in a pureed form, for 4 days. And if she didn't show any signs of rashes developing or allergies, then we would kind of take that off the list of, oh, we don't think she's allergic to that, and move on to another food. So I actually kept a list of what we introduced. So like I said, we started with like the banana Gerber oatmeal. So we did that for 4 days. She liked it. No rash developed or anything like that. So I checked off that, hey, I don't think she's allergic to bananas. When we moved to the savory oatmeal, that one had peas and carrots in it. So we checked off that she wasn't allergic to peas and carrots. As Anna got older, the conversation came up about introducing bits of food, so not just purees, like around 7 or 8 months. So for 6 months, we just did purees, mostly the oatmeals and just the purees that you buy at the store. I also had a baby food maker, and I would just puree fresh fruit and vegetables and put them in little containers, and then I would give them to her for, like I said, 3 or 4 days to see if she was allergic. We did kind of, in that month, we kind of tried to hit the main fruits and vegetables that we eat in our home. So we did bananas, like I said, the peas and carrots. We did mango. We did strawberry puree. I think the strawberry puree, I don't think I found that in the store, but I made it. We did blueberries. We did like a pineapple, papayas, things like that. And whatever we could find in the store as well, like a grab and go, we would introduce it for, again, the 4 days. And then as she got older, like 7, 8 months, and she did start to like learn that you chew your food a little bit. Obviously, you don't want to give your young baby who's just being introduced to food like big pieces for a choking hazard, but you can give them small pieces. And I did ask my pediatrician, again, ask your own pediatrician, but I asked my pediatrician because Anna didn't get teeth until like 11, close to a year. She didn't really get any teeth, and I asked her, like, okay, you want us to start introducing like small bits of food, but she has no teeth. And she actually said that it's instinctual for babies. As long as you cut this food really small, they have the instinct that even when they don't have teeth, they kind of gum their food. They use their gums to still chomp and chew, and because the food should be soft and should be small, it's okay. And they're kind of like using that instinct. So we did start going ahead and introducing bits and pieces. But I'm going to give you a very important piece of information with that right now. For us, obviously, when you're a parent, you know that the main, your child can be allergic to anything, but there are main allergies out there for children and people in general, which would be nuts, peanuts, peanut butter, eggs would be on the list of high allergens, milk, which obviously we didn't know. Well, we didn't think she was allergic to milk because she was still on formula at that time until 12 months. But, it was a milk-based formula. So, we were good in that. But definitely, like I said, peanuts, peanut butter, eggs. I believe certain fruits are on the high list. So I believe it's like pineapple. I think avocado is now on the high list of allergens. There was other things too. Oh, like seafood, like shellfish and things like that. So for us, we were a little nervous about introducing that because she's our first child, and sometimes allergies are genetic, but we don't have any food allergies, but certain people in our families do. And then we don't have any other children right now to say that, oh, their brother or their sister's allergic to something. So we weren't sure. And it can be nerve-wracking to have a little 6, 7-month-old baby and be worried about an allergic reaction. But our pediatrician said that actually the earlier you introduce allergens, the less likely your baby will be allergic. Of course, there are allergies that are just genetic, and right away you will find that out that, oh, you introduced this and they're allergic. But in general, delaying allergens is not really recommended, at least not in our clinic, because there is research to believe, at least what she told us, there is research to believe that delaying allergens, like if you never introduce your baby to this high allergen, they're more likely to gain that allergy. So for us, once she started eating the bits and pieces, we chose to introduce kind of allergens first, and then the less likely allergens later. So I think the first bit of food that we gave her was actually peanuts. And I didn't want to introduce Anna with peanut butter at first for peanuts, because I think it can be very, like, for me, peanut butter is very drying of your mouth, and I didn't want her to like choke on it and stuff, and I thought it would be hard to kind of chew, especially without teeth. And even though it's soft and creamy, like, if you eat a lot of peanut butter, you'll get very thirsty. And I didn't think that she could handle that at that age. So we actually found peanut butter puff snacks instead, and we just cut them up real small, and they were like melt in your mouth. The children melt in your mouth, like they have like the teething cracker snacks or the puffer snacks, and they're melt in your mouth. So even when the babies don't have teeth, they're learning to suck and they're learning to eat. And as long as they put them in their mouth, you can cut them real small. They put them in their mouth and it kind of melts. They have peanut butter flavor that is made with real peanut butter. So if your child has a peanut allergy, it will come out if you introduce that. So I think that was one of the first things we introduced as a high allergen that she actually ate, and luckily she was not allergic to. So far, she is not allergic to any foods. So yeah, we introduced peanut butter first. Then right after that, once we realized within like that week, no peanut allergy came up, we moved right on. But like I said, we did the high allergens back to back to get that out the way, find out if she had any of those really one of those high allergens. We wanted to find out sooner rather than later, so we would know and we could avoid it, and we could meet with an allergist or whatever needed to be done. So I think right after peanut butter, we did eggs, and the easiest way we did eggs is scrambled, really fine. So now that Anna's a year and a half old, she does scrambled eggs, and she also does like little baby omelets. I will chop them small, but not as small, because she does have most of her front teeth, some of her back teeth, and she does really know how to chew. So I will let her grab it and chew it. She knows how to eat with a spoon. I'll let her she knows how to eat with a spoon or her little baby fork. So I will even let her use her utensils, grab it and chew it. I do cut it somewhat small because she's still a toddler and it's still a choking hazard, but not as small as I did when she was 6 or 7 months old. But when she was 6 or 7 months old, I would make them really fine, still scrambled, but really fine pieces, and really just give her small bits at a time and really take my time. And we introduced the eggs, and like I said, there was no allergy, so that was good. Then we moved on to like the lesser high allergens, like bananas, avocados, pineapple. We did all those allergens. Once we got all those allergens out the way, then we did less likely things like small bits of regular vegetables like peas, small bits of fruits, and we tried to keep things soft until she did get teeth, or we would just cut them really small. So those are my tips, kind of introducing the allergens first. I mean, I know some people may not do it that way, but that's how we did it. So those are my tips. I would introduce the allergens first because you want to know if your child has a high allergen. Like I said, your child could be allergic to anything, so you could definitely go through all the high allergens and they don't have an allergy at all, and then you introduce something like a strawberry and they're allergic. But in general, just to get those high allergens out the way, because peanut butter, for example, it'll say on certain packages of a lot of things may contain nuts. So it's better to know early if your child does have one of those really common allergens. So I would recommend introducing simple purees first, like an oatmeal puree, baby oatmeal puree, or simple purees that you can find in your grocery store. Or if you want to make your own puree, even if you want to make your own puree, I would do something simple first and then work your way up, do all the allergens, and then do more common foods. My other tip would also be, obviously your child's gonna have kind of a similar diet to you and your family because you're cooking for your child. So I would introduce first the common things that you eat in your home, and then introduce more eclectic things later. The other tip that I want to give too is make sure that you're making the experience of food fun. And what I mean by that is, your child is, at this point, when you're first introducing foods, they're only like 6 months old, 7 months old. They're still little babies. They're still getting curious with the world, and it's really important that those first experiences, those new experiences, it may just be food to you, but to them it's something completely new, and it's a lot of sensory. There's texture in food, there's color in food, there's smell in food, there's taste, and that's a lot for a little baby. So make sure that when you're introducing foods, you're happy about it. You're kind of introducing it in a way that you're showing them that it's something new, it's something good. We would, like, the first time, I will try to find the video. I'm not gonna promise because I don't know where it is right now, but there's a first video of Anna eating the baby oatmeal. So I will try to find the video to insert here if I can find it. If I can't find it, I'm just gonna explain it here now. But basically, be enthusiastic. So we would, let's say, I tried to make sure Sam was home every time we introduced a new food, because I wanted us both to be involved in the process of food and introducing her to food. But basically, be enthusiastic. What I mean is, like, we would introduce Anna to, like, let's say the oatmeal, and let's say it was banana oatmeal, so you're tasting that taste of banana for the first time, and you have that gritty texture of oatmeal for the first time. We would introduce it, and she would, like, look at it, and every time she would try something new, it was new, so she'd kind of be surprised. But then after, she'd be like, oh, this tastes good. Okay, she kind of get into it. So we slowly introduce, like, okay, you like it a little bit, and then do it slowly. But then as you see that they like it, celebrate that. It's just like any other type of training with your baby, like potty training. You know, when you potty train, when they pee in the potty, you clap like yay, and it's positive reinforcement. Same thing with food. Make sure that you're giving positive reinforcement when they're eating, when they're chewing. Let them know that, yay, good, you're trying banana. Yay, good, you're picking up food for the first time. Yay, good, you're chewing. Like all those things. Be enthusiastic, you know, get into that inner child and really make them know that this is a positive experience and that food is a positive experience. As they get a little bit older, I would say also start introducing texture. The melt in your mouth kind of like treats that they have and crackers that they have, those are really good because for young babies, because they come in variety of flavors, they come in vegetables and fruits and all kind of things, but they do melt in your mouth so that the choking hazard is not like high. However, they are texture because they're more of a crunchy food, but they're not like a choke hazard because they melt in your mouth. So that's a good thing for texture. Obviously, soft things is texture, and things like eggs, even though they're still soft and you can chop them up real small, like I said, they are going to have a different texture than just a regular puree. So make sure you're introducing different foods, different flavors, different colors, and different textures, and make sure you're being optimistic and positive and happy so that the baby has a good first experience with the food, because food trauma can be a thing too. If they have a negative experience with introducing foods, they can become more picky and just more irritable when having foods, and you don't want that. You want them to know that food is a great thing and a great source for us, and you want them to be happy, healthy, and enthusiastic themselves when they're getting introduced to foods, especially as they get older. So they're going to be more enthusiastic if you're enthusiastic. And if you're having trouble with something, if they don't like something, one trick we learned with Anna is like, if we taste it, she'll be more open to tasting it. So if we introduce something new and she's kind of skeptical, she'll kind of look at it, she'll hold it, and we'll be like, try it. And if she doesn't want to try it, we'll say, we'll try it, and we'll go like, yum, and she'll try it. More than likely, after we kind of approve it and say yum, she'll try it. So just, you know, get into it, it's kind of like a little fun game. Really be enthusiastic. Like I said, try different things. Don't be afraid to kind of think outside the box, and don't always go with, oh, most people introduce this to their kid. If there's something that you really want to introduce to your kid, just try it. But going with the allergens first was good for us. And then the way we did it, like I said, how we started with the oatmeal, then the allergens, then the more common foods, and focused on what we feed our family, was good for us. And the other thing is focus on health and balance. Make sure you're introducing healthy foods and make sure you're introducing flavorful foods, but also I try to make sure, this doesn't always happen, especially as she's getting older and has her preferences, but I try to make sure that every meal has a fruit or a vegetable or both incorporated into it. So I hope you guys like this video. I hope you found some tips, your baby or your 6-month-old, to new foods. I hope you found some tips or tricks. Let me know in the comments if you need any more tips or any questions. And also look out for the toddler video that I'm doing next week as well. See you next week.